Unless you want to decide, Steve Freach requested the use of the annex on December 6th. I'm not real sure what they're doing. The Eden Valley minister is a singer, and they want to have a little concert in there. My only concern with that is food and that's
Well, as long as they understand,
So-
and understand anything that's to be cleaned up and out there too.
right. So
I don't.
is it okay that they use
I think
it?
as long as we have something that people know that it's, you know, that they are required to keep it as clean as it was when they come in.
Right, okay.
What, are we gonna have any kind of charge on that or not, or just the use?
I haven't been.
So
The bank
far,
used
right.
it
Well,
last week.
that's what
I
I
think
don't
it-
know.
People seem really appreciative of having it, we get more and more
I think
people,
it's
if they use it right, for the right
If
reasons.
they use
I
it
said,
right,
And for the right, you know, general public purposes, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not too concerned with charges, we're gonna pay bills on anyhow, as long as they keep it the same condition as is, maybe.
Okay.
At least, that sounded real to you guys?
And if it does happen, then maybe we'll have to put
Well, that, if
Clean
it
it.
does, if
Clean up
something happens,
charge.
I'm gonna have to go
yeah.
that's
Okay.
what I was
offset the
wondering.
cost of cleaning it up.
Along the same lines, I've had to fill out the zoning variance for the city, for the front of the building.
Oh, okay.
There'll be a $50 application fee, but I need you guys to look this over and sign off on it so I can get it over.
Okay.
It's just, since we're changing the front facade,
Mhm.
we need to file this with them.
Right. And also probably the entry in going out, maybe ADA will have to change that to the curve or something
Right.
different.
But Vince
This is just-
Vince put all this together and
Right.
told me what to copy and all that, so it
So this will put us all in compliance.
should,
Okay.
we can look at that later.
Okay.
You want to do it?
Christmas holiday, district court will be closed Friday, December 26th. They've got an order from the governor.
And
So I don't know if you guys have thought about it or not.
I've kind of thought about maybe not going ahead and close on Friday myself. but
Yeah,
They know in advance.
Probably a good
I mean, it's
idea.
kind of, come back for one day and it gives them a little more chance they're gonna be traveling, they'll have to race back. How do you feel about it?
I would make a motion that we would close on the 26th.
There's a
I'll
second.
second.
Move to second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay. Let them know that, okay?
Yep.
Anything else right now? You gentlemen have anything else right now?
Nope.
We'll recess.
On that one.
They need a certificate of coverage from your previous insurance.
Oh, okay. Don't have any pre-existing conditions.
Well, they think, until they get that certificate of coverage, they're gonna assume that you do.
For the back session, we're in session, okay. Okay. I think first off, I'd like to ask for about 15-minute executive session for non-elected personnel.
I mean, we have a 15-minute executive session for non-elected personnel.
I'll second it.
Move to second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're in executive.
For the courthouse is going to be closed on the 26th. This pertains to all county employees. Okay.
Was that what they was wondering about the day after Christmas? And,
No,
you-
we
You
had,
gotta have, you got it staffed anyhow, of course, on call.
right. The issue came up of who's staffing it, and certain people haven't been doing it for the last couple of Christmases, certain people have, you know, a little infighting going on, so.
That's your
Next,
call.
yes, that's my call. Next year, we're actually going to sit down and who's taking what holidays at the beginning of the year. And that, it'll change when we go to 24-hour shifts, because if you're on that holiday, you're on that holiday. It's your responsibility if you don't work it to get trade time. So there's no question who's working if you're on your own.
But one year one has Christmas, the other has New Year's, and the next year that person that had New Year's would have
Right, every year
Christmas.
it's a flip-flop.
Yeah,
Sometimes, however, you will have 2 years consecutive on certain holidays.
Mhm.
That's just because of the way the rotations.
yeah. Right.
Luckily, usually the following 2 years, you'll be off those. So it works out, you know, in the wash of things. In some years you'll have all the holidays off, so that's it.
Did you have a chance to get a hold of Jay, the USDA guy?
I have not. I've tried to get a hold of him again, and still have not done that. I'm actually going to try to email him again today. Find out what the status is for that.
I've got it. We have his number.
I have his card.
They have hired another employee that might have this area.
That's my understanding. Karen was telling me that. So that's most likely the lapse of the infection. On that note of, I met with Wheel Coach the other day. That's the style of ambulance I'm currently aggressively going after. It's a medium duty Chevrolet frame, 6.6 turbo, diesel on the Allison transmission side. We kind of spec'd it out. They're going to be sending me all the spec information so I can post it on
Is that the brand we've been buying, Wheel Coach? Hasn't been, has it?
Our last ambulance was Wheel Coach.
Wheel Coach, okay.
The reason I decided to go ahead and get a Wheel Coach bid, we've had problems with Wheel Coach ambulance we have now. They have pretty much assured me that all those problems have been worked out. A lot of it was engine and chassis problems that they
That's what we had problems with last time, that's Wheel Coach the last time. There were problems around that one.
The only issue we might have with this one is with the big strike last year with GM, and when the frame or the rail chassis division went on strike, they all went on strike to support them, so there's only a limited number of chassis available. This dealer, my rep right now, he has a two earmarked for his build, so as soon as we can get on that build. It's 200 days, it takes 200 days to build, if we decide to spec one out. Otherwise, we can get a stock ambulance. But the way that I wanted to spec it out is not going to be stock. Making cabinets bigger or changing things to accommodate certain equipment.
And the price between stock and custom?
Stock and custom is going to be approximately anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000. And actually, it's Wheel Coach, but the one I'm actually looking at is Road Rescue, which is it's an all aluminum extruded body. There's no wood in it at all. The build's better. The box frame welding is better. So, Road Rescue over Wheel Coach just flat is about $10,000 more. They have LED lighting interior. They have what's called a patient directional lighting on the inside for the LEDs. So that ambulance there will probably most likely run about $150,000 to $160,000. As of January 1st, they'll probably go up another 15%. So if we can get the
Why, steel costs or what?
the steel cost, he specifically told me that that's just across the board, everybody's raising everything. I know medical supplies are going up 12 to 15%, fire supplies are going up 12 to 50%. It's just across the board, inflation. Even though fuel prices are down, so everybody's raising the prices.
It takes a long time to get a trickle-down effect.
Right. I've talked to also Weiss and Layton with Rescue One about fire equipment that we need to get. They said the same thing. Everything's going up 50%. If we can at least get things purchase ordered or bid before the first of the year, we'll lock the price.
Well, good luck, we'll see how it works out then.
See how it works out. I On that note, there's equipment that, for the fire truck. We're getting multiple bids for that also. We're pretty much coming in line with each other. I've got a bid from Layton with First Due and Weiss on multiple types of equipment. There is only one cascade system in the entire county, which is at Stafford, which is a slow fill system. It'll only fill basically 2 small bottles at a time. The St. John City's cascade system will not fill the new bottles, the new 45 bottles, unless you change the whole system around. It's not very beneficial. To get a standalone cascade system itself is going to be extremely expensive, probably about $28,000 to $30,000. So my idea is to get a portable system and go ahead and we fill it at Stafford, because we fill the bottles in a slow fill system, and be able to fill multiple bottles off of that portable system, which is around $7,000. And if it's portable, we can use it anywhere in the county. After talking to the Wheel Coach representative and the rough bids for the trade-in values on the ambulances, we're probably going to get about $5,000 or $6,000 on trade-in. I would like to take one of those ambulances, preferably the med tech that we have as a backup right now, and utilize that as a command, air, and light rescue trailer, mobile, since the trade-in value is not going to be very beneficial at all.
We shouldn't have retain much of the value to the good trade.
And the good thing about this is, he's assured me also, with this heavy-duty frame rail, the 6.6, and the Allison transmission, that if we ever decide to trade it in, there's a bigger trading value. However, when we go road rescue, the box is built in such a way that you can remount that box on multiple different chassis. So if 3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, we decide to remount this chassis, or the box on different chassis, because it is a medium-duty chassis, we can take that chassis and put it into something else, whether we make it into a medium tanker truck or utility vehicle or something like that. We can have multiple uses down the road.
Just jump it then.
Instead of just trading the whole thing in. Also, this Saturday, we have a multiple training evolution in Maxville. We'll be doing live burn training, one-room rescues, smoke revolution trainings. We have a house donated out there that we're going to learn. We're also going to do engine operations, engineering, drafting operations. So everybody's familiar with that. I'd like to do some siphon drafting, and we're also going to do vehicle extrication training at the same time. Also with the EMT class, we're bringing them up there. So we're going to have 3 different types of training going on at the same time. So it's going to be good. I have Weiss coming out actually for that event to demonstrate some of their, or let us use some of their Hurst equipment, so we can try out the new equipment. The rescue equipment that's on the fire truck out here right now, the pump is leaking and the hoses are leaking. So if we can possibly purchase a new rescue tool, that's what we're checking out. And with the new quick connection fittings, you don't have to turn the pump off to release the hydraulic pressure. You can just make a connection and switch over to that unit. And we've actually used the rescue tool 3 times this month. So
This is the Jaws.
the jaws, the cutters, the spreaders. We actually used it last time with the Maxwell, a couple days ago. We're actually doing that. And of course, we went on our plane wreck yesterday, plane crash.
What time was that?
That was 4:30-ish, 75-ish. It was light out when I left, it was getting dark, so 2 gentlemen were very lucky. try to get ahold of USDA, find out what the scoop is there. I also finally got my letter back from the state as far as my training officer, TO 1 and 2. And because of my background and my training and instructor background, I just need a couple letters of recommendation. They only take MT testing.
Really?
And then they will forego the classes, my training officer 1, 2, and instructor 4.
Have you gotten your results from your national, did you go to Memphis to take that test?
I was going to,
But you didn't?
I didn't have to because Kansas doesn't recognize national registry.
No.
So I just had reciprocity. Now that will probably change once these new licensures are in effect.
Okay.
Good, thanks. I know this.
Oh, go ahead.
It was just.
No, he's just
You're
this.
just there.
No.
He's
Well,
just killing
I'm
time.
not gonna come up to the hot seat. Now, this is Frank Ortiz. Frank is the new CEO of the hospital in Stafford. This is Lee Suter,
Nice to meet you.
Beth Clayton,
Move, man.
and J.D. Hager Jr.
Nice to meet you.
And Lee Keenan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Have a seat.
Sit up here like.
Go up there and
We want you in
visit
the
with
Get in the hot seat.
What's the
We
camera?
want you in the picture.
That's okay.
Yeah, I can stay out of it.
Are you glad?
And this is effective, what, first of January 1st? or-
Well, he's took over last week.
Oh, really?
I'm just not quite out of there yet, but he's took over last week.
Glad to have you.
Good to have you on board.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be here full time, hopefully by the summer. I have a house for myself. It'll be ready in 4 weeks. I'm just staying at the hospital for it. So it works. Everybody's a little bit concerned that I'm staying at the hospital.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me.
Well, there's plenty of room.
So now you need to get a hold of him day or night, it's called the same place.
Doesn't bother me. Sounds bad. I
Phone
would
calls doesn't have to be made, do they?
Yeah, no, you just go knock on the door. I'm there. I'm there. Yeah, but
I'm sure it'll get pretty old.
not really, you know, with all the kids, I've been in and out of hospitals, so.
Yeah. He has 6 kids.
Good.
And you're coming from where? Where'd you?
Derby.
Derby? And you, what capacity were you there?
I'm sorry?
What capacity were you at Derby? You administrator there?
Yeah, I was, actually, I was a business director for a startup family practice, and prior to that, I was an administrator for Green Vision Group. So, we're involved in healthcare for a while.
So you find in Stafford County a little slower paced than Sedgwick County or not?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, you know, once I get home, I get home. I don't really go out and
Right.
about. You know, life's always shopping.
That's all right.
I'm at home. I'm at home. I prefer to be at home.
So you're moving your family, said after, that's the first.
Yeah, after the school year. After the school year.
That's good.
And we've got to find him a place in Stafford because he's got kids that play football. We need the help. Well, we need the help over there.
Yeah, you should start recruiting to live over there.
It's too
So
far away,
we can all compete.
One of the stipulations, you have to be within 5 minutes of your place of employment.
Well, you do.
Is that right? Is that your place?
Maybe you're right, that's not correct.
No,
Well,
not.
I thought
Seven
they were
and a half
pretty good about
minutes.
they were saying 5 minutes, so.
So
much traffic.
Be back at 10:30 or thereabouts, Nita.
All right.
No, I like Stafford. I mean, I stood here on Thursday, and I was gonna go to the pizza place, but went across the street to the gas station, and, like a whole buffet of food.
Yeah,
It's just fine.
you get tired of that.
Yeah.
My wife, yesterday we had a big lunch, and there was a lot of food left over, and she's like, oh, she was talking to her grandma, oh, we need to fix Frank some food so we can take up there, so we don't have to eat just hospital food.
Hospital,
forgot.
hey, that don't sound good.
Really, the hospital food.
You
ain't
don't have
too
to eat
bad.
hospital food, huh?
She said, oh, I forgot to get the food. I said, it's not a big deal.
We good, well, we're glad to have you in the community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Forward
Glad to be
to
here.
work with you.
Yeah.
That
Well,
the
you
first
get
year.
seen from time to time,
The first year.
budgets and all that kind of stuff. so.
Sure.
We haven't really discussed it as far as how often a representative board or the administrator to give us a report. Personally, I think maybe once every 6 months would be sufficient. That's my feeling. Whether you
I
want.
thought about the other night, I thought it'd be kind of nice to have maybe a noon luncheon and have all the hospital board and have, you know, the commissioners and everything and have something like that where we could all be communicating back and forth.
You just want to eat that hospital food.
I've only had one. Hospital food's pretty good.
Yeah,
Except
Chicken.
chicken.
He doesn't like chicken. that's
He
why.
doesn't like
We can have it on
any form
chicken
of
day then,
chicken.
probably.
It doesn't matter who fixes it.
So we could do, I mean, we can discuss this
later on after.
But I don't think a monthly update is necessary, because I think we have a good board and obviously a good administrator, since the board hired the administrator, so, I mean, but quarterly or semi-annual, I think that's sufficient.
Yeah, right, they're the ones that's taking care of the business, we're just up here.
Yeah, it's your feet what's in the fire, so.
Budgeting
Cool mine
process.
down for a while.
I agree. I'm okay with the quarterly, semi-yearly, considering, we're still have board meetings, so it's a lot of time.
How's the Docs Who Care, and how's it working out, are they?
Been a lot of excitement about it. We've had a lot of people come in. We've had some switch their records over to that clinic, even knowing that there are temporary doctors. And so far, I have not had anybody complain about any doctor. These people are good, or they wouldn't send them out. And they know how to deal with the kind of situation that we have. And
Staff, they're excited when they meet the doctor and they work for them for a couple of hours. When the doctors are willing to show them things that they're not necessarily know at the time, but they're pretty helpful.
first doctor we had in for 2 weeks, his past 7 or 8 years was as an instructor in the residency program at St. Francis in Wichita. Now he's in Kansas City as an instructor in the pediatric residency program in children's nursing. So he was very highly experienced, and he gave us a lot of help. We thought we had a clinic set up, and he gave us a lot of ideas.
Good.
And they've all been kind of like that.
I was told that Tom Simpson's gonna retire and he's gonna join Docs Who Care. Tom's
Wouldn't
a-
surprise me.
yeah,
Yeah, I know he's gonna retire. I hadn't heard that he was gonna join.
Well, I mean, that wasn't a fact, it was something that he was gonna join Docs Who Care. And he's close by, Sterling.
Yeah, he hasn't been practicing that much. He's been involved in the political scene that he
Yeah.
hasn't practiced full-time for a while.
But your CT scan's up and running. Are you thinking about an MRI or you still doing?
I,
I was just questioning.
I'm thinking about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Most things are gonna take money, and I really need to get accustomed to the grant writing, and getting funds into the hospital. I was telling Vern coming up here, one of our first grants we're gonna try to go is a tax credit to try to get a wellness center across the street from the hospital. That'll help the community and help the school. I think it would be good.
You got those tax credit before, haven't you?
we had tax credits 2 years ago. to put in the
Worked
new-
pretty well,
the
didn't it?
extra. Yeah, it did. We learned a lot. And I was telling him that we did it so quick that I think there was only one bank in the county that had a board meeting before they had to turn the pledge form back in. We hope to get it done a little
So
sooner.
we didn't have much time.
No.
I'll have
And
6 months to
yeah,
start.
we learned that you don't have to have pledged every dollar you're asking for. 65% is basically what we need. So it gives us a little more flexibility.
It's a good program.
Yep, it is.
And I've been looking at grants, different grants that we haven't applied for that we may be eligible to apply for. I think we can get grants that would
It's MRI, but that's expensive.
Well, I just thought I'd throw that out.
Like feeling generous today. He'd
Yeah,
like to-
yeah.
There's other things that we can get a lot cheaper than that.
You'd have a heart attack.
Well, just think, you wouldn't have to drive to Hutch.
I don't now.
No,
Well, you can have it over there one day a week.
yeah,
Now,
just kidding. Plans for a 3-story building,
Yeah.
office spaces.
but the
I know one
CT
thing,
scan
I'm
has
gonna
done
have to talk
very
to
well.
Dean.
In,
Yeah.
what, it was about 38 days, we had about 27 scans, which starting up is not bad. But we had to learn how to do it. I mean, we had people in there getting scans, and they were, Stafford, the very first day, they were just learning how to turn it on. And so they've done pretty well. Now, it will pick up. It will pick up. You know, with Docs and Care being there, I think they'll start utilizing it more than maybe it has been. So, it should help with
Okay.
So we have a new EMS director, we have a new hospital administrator, you know. I'm excited for 09 now.
I'm very excited. You know, I was impatient at home, waiting for my start date. I called John and said, can I come up there, you know, a couple of days, just to get it out of my system. I was anxious at home. Very excited.
Good.
Glad to have you.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Nice to meet you.
that. I'll still see you.
I see you.
Take care.
You want those tax abatements and
Oh,
all
yes.
look at those?
Yes, I'll make a motion, we'll go ahead and do the tax abatements.
Second.
Move to second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Anything
Do you want
else?
to do this
Well,
zoning?
We need action on that right now.
Yeah, I would like to,
Okay.
but I'm wondering if we're gonna change that building.
Well, it's pretty well generalized as to what we can do.
It's
We don't-
basically- It's basically for the front. I think.
It's mainly for the facade, isn't
Yeah,
it?
front,
I think
so-
so.
The
Okay,
front's
yeah.
probably gonna remain pretty well the same.
Yeah.
We'll plan on doing is just do something.
Um,
We can alter it, probably amend it and change it.
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and file this application for variance in the city of St. John. Application fee of $50 in regards to the annex building.
Second.
Second.
Move to second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Anything else out? Lisa's coming in.
Lisa.
All right.
How are
Good
you
morning.
guys?
Fine, how are you?
I have a list of old tax warrants that are uncollectible. A lot of people are deceased. They're,
Disappeared.
gone, yeah. And these go clear back into the 80s. So I wanted to clean them up and get them out of our files, so we're just kind of doing a mass abatement. I've talked to Carl, Joe, and they've signed off on it already, so I just need your guys' signature on it.
So you said are no longer here, right?
Yeah,
That's the ones that are highlighted?
Yeah.
Or it's
No.
not the whole thing?
that's the whole
The
thing.
Well, that's highlighted, wasn't it?
The ones that are highlighted are the ones that are in our computer that I have to go
Oh,
take
okay.
out of our computer. So it's just something
The
for
ones that
me.
highlighted, most I've seen are around here though.
But no, it's all of them.
Oh, all of them?
That's all of them. Yeah, a lot of old warrants. And Joe said, you know, he couldn't collect them because they're so old and, if you don't keep reviving them, you technically can't go collect them anyway, so.
The statute limitation 5 years on them, and on those two, I thought taxes were,
On warrants,
warrants are different than taxes.
if you revive them every 5 years, they can stay
So,
active.
5 years.
But these older ones were never kept active.
So you're up to them
Yeah,
anyhow.
but we really have no legal recourse.
5 years.
Well, probably a lot of these aren't even in business anymore.
All right, a lot of them.
1985.
Mhm.
Case Oil and Gas, Pratt.
Yeah.
So the most recent is 1999.
Yeah, probably so. I really didn't keep track.
It looks like the majority of them are in the 80s.
Yeah, they are.
You want to go through it all that?
We'll need a motion on this.
Yes.
I move that we allow Lisa to go ahead and delete these out of date tax warrants, I guess.
Is there a second?
A second.
Moved and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, all those would have to be publicly printed. Notice?
Yeah, you usually do list the abatements.
It's gonna take a special edition.
Well, I got the,
Part of it.
I got the
Can you shrink
spreadsheet.
them? We have to take it back to fire
No,
cost.
they will be on this slice here, not this on here. That's how we have to know.
Yeah, right there. And then dated up above, the line above there.
16?
17.
17. Okay. You want me to leave that with you, or? I can email you this.
Just, yeah, just email it to me.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Now, anything else?
No.
Bill recess.
Tender an executive session to discuss non-elected personnel.
Acquisition of property.
Acquisition of property, sorry. Getting habits.
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We're in executive session for 10 minutes.
Oil and now, I kind of wonder,
right.
you know, what it's,
Joe, sit down there.
what
Are we gonna need more chairs?
I was gonna pull these in. You know, their economy is, you know, dependent on this as well, so it's
Seems to be anyway.
oh, we've been experiencing here, but rest assured, about a couple months from now, that $50, $60 a barrel is back there.
Oh, good.
We'll let Carl sit in the middle.
Can be worse. It can always be worse. Wouldn't sound like.
Philip's gonna sit on the back row.
Are you ready for us to?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think they're all the same thing. I'm not really sure.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Okay. Carl, you gonna take the lead on this?
Well, I was gonna go ahead and pull this map out.
Okay, I'll introduce who's on here this morning. Start here.
I'm Faith Trent with Great Plains Development.
Okay.
And I'm Patty Richardson, Executive Director of Great Plains.
Are you Ken?
I'm just fine.
Ron Fair, Golden Bill.
And Carl Mel Becker behind, right? Okay.
I'm Mark Fisher, treasurer with South Sewer.
Okay. All right.
Put that map out there, that way everybody kind of sees what we're, the area in which we're talking about.
We've been in talking.
We've got one more guy coming here. Here, Jim.
There you go.
There you go.
Sure.
You driving with you?
I didn't see him.
Okay.
What we're talking about is off of 281 on the same road we've talked about, the mile in and then a half mile through the entrance to the feed yard. And, you know, when we've been in before, and we appreciate you listening to us, and, you know, money is a big issue, and we understand that. What we've done is explored with Great Plains Development a way to get this road in. And I guess let me summarize it briefly, and then they can tell you about it. But there appears to be community development block grants available. And then money from the Economic Development State of Kansas. Federal, okay. As an example, if this road cost $1.5 million, and we don't know what it would cost, it appears that there are programs that would pay for that road with Golden Belt paying over a period of time approximately 1/4 of that cost back. But it does involve some county development from the standpoint of those applications have to be made in the name of the county. And I think technically then, we pay our payments to you and you pay them back to whoever. But as I understand it, they'll talk about your liability. As I understand it, you have no liability or anything of that
I
type.
think we discussed this one other time,
Might have.
something else.
We're interested in proceeding, applying for these grants and or loans or whatever they are, and attempting to do something on this road, and so we're here to see if this is something that you think you'd be interested in participating to the extent that you have to participate. It would be our intention, the engineering costs and the grant administration fees and all of those costs up front, we will pay, so that there would be actually, as I understand, no out-of-pocket expense from the county at all. But we'll let them, with that, I'm gonna turn it over to somebody that knows what we're talking about.
Well, what we're talking about is funding, if it was $1.5 million project, that we could probably apply for half of that, $750,000 is the maximum, through the state, the Department of Commerce, Community Development Block Grant Program, through their ED program. And I'll have Faye tell you more about that, because there are some eligibility requirements and various different things. But the other half would be funded, we can make application to the Economic Development Administration for the other 50%.
And that's federal.
And that would be federal dollars. And so both of those applications, though, do have to come through the county. I mean, we're assuming that the roads are owned by the county, and so you would be the applicant, and you could be applying on behalf of Golden Belt members, because they have to meet some job requirements and various different things. So the match money that the CDBG needs would be provided by EDA, and EDA would provide the match money for the CDBG. But there is a portion of the CDBG that has to be repaid. And so I'll let Faye get into that information for you.
So basically, like I said, the maximum we can apply for through the CDBG program is $750,000. That will, in that $750,000, that would be for construction of the road, plus it will pay for the administration of it, because you would have to have a certified administrator to administer that grant, okay? So, and that comes out of the grant portion, okay? Then, and the maximum on that is at this point $15,000 for administration. So, but then the other half of that $750,000 would be a loan, and like you said, it would be paid back through an assessment. The county would have to come up with an assessment for the feedlot to pay that money back, okay? And the county would be basically the pass-through, okay? The funds, the grant would be awarded, the funds would come to the county, then the county would pay the bills to whoever's doing the work after the funds come in from the two programs. And then when the repayment starts, Golden Belt would pay that to the county would forward that back on to Department of Commerce. In order to be eligible for that, you have to create or retain jobs. In talking to Ron and Merlin and them, they've expanded as far as they can go, as far as KDHE, is my understanding. So they really won't be able to be creating any additional jobs. However, because of the circumstances and with the road and everything, we can look at them retaining jobs. And so for the $750,000, it'd be retaining about 22 jobs out there. And I think, how many employees do you guys have? Ron, I can't
As
recall.
of this morning, 53.
Okay, so I don't think there's gonna be a problem with retaining the jobs that would be required. Of those jobs, 51% of them have to meet the low to moderate income requirement, which they've been working on getting job certifications to help us to get to that point too. And initial review of it, when I was looking at them here not too long ago, it looks like they're not gonna have a problem there either. So basically, I think we've met that requirement. Now we just need to see if the county is willing to work with us on preparing that application and submitting it to get that road fixed for them.
So how long a pay period is it?
It would be, the pay period would be 10 years.
10 years?
Mhm.
And
They have 18-month, you can pay 18-month interest only, and then it's amortized out over the remaining.
And there's no recourse back to the county at all, or anything?
No. As far as what, I'm sorry, did you say?
Okay. To the county, nothing back, no recourse back to the county as far as if they unpaid.
Right, no, no,
And the interest rate is 2%.
right.
And this will be, I don't want to seem too suspicious, but there will be some writing in this, I mean, that will be in writing, right?
Yes, it has to be.
And county, actually, you said they're collecting the money then, and then it's.
And then return it back to the state. The county is basically the pass-through for the money.
The only cost that could come about later on is the maintenance
Maintenance of
of the road.
Of the road.
So, I mean, and we would have to, there is one resolution that says that you know, that the county would keep the road and the maintenance up on the road. And
At our expense.
Mhm. Or, I mean, I don't know how you work with your townships and various things, so I mean, we're not here to tell you how to do it, but just that.
There would, yeah.
Be budgeting thing in the township too, be lesser expense probably what they're spending now. For
Right.
maintenance on what
Uh-huh.
Well, and I think, you know, or at least it would be my anticipation that the engineer would design a road that would handle the traffic, you know, be sufficient quality to handle the truck traffic and so forth. And I wouldn't think maintenance would be a major issue for a long time, I would hope, but if they design a proper road, hopefully.
But I didn't want you to think, you know, I didn't
Understand
want this
that.
to come up later.
Right,
And you say you didn't mention that.
Right, yeah. There would have to be an agreement on the maintenance of the road.
Our, you know, our I suppose a 2% interest rate is a rate that, you know, right now would be to our advantage. And I suppose at some point it's possible it wouldn't be and we just pay it and not all at once. But right now it's certainly an advantage to us, that rate is.
Now, you mentioned something about an administrator of this
Mhm.
project. That would be, that you would hire someone, or?
Well, the county would have to hire someone.
It could be someone in here already, right?
No, they would have to be a certified administrator. So, like myself at Great Plains. And we would have to go through a process on that, and the county would have to work through that. There might be a little expense in mailing out some, you know, letters and requests for proposals and things like that. But the grant would pay for the actual administration of the grant.
Because we don't have any application fee
Right.
that we charge. So that's how we make money for preparing the application and doing the work is through that administration.
So you've retained an engineer, or you're in
We
the
haven't yet,
process?
we're waiting, we will start that process immediately. I guess the best of all worlds would be that we would be ready for construction next summer. That would be, you know, if we could be ready by June 1st, let's say, things would have to go pretty smoothly to make that schedule. But that would be the process we'd be shooting for. Now, we have the names of several engineers that they've